Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another, well, this ain't an episode. This is just some bonus content we wanted to put out there. Last game of the season. We didn't make it a part of our episode that is coming out tomorrow, Tuesday, February 15th. But, me and Prez wanted to chat with you guys real quick and just let you know about how we felt about the Super Bowl, man. Super Bowl 46, man. Crazy game, man. But Prez is on the line right now. So, Prez, tap in, man. You there?
Yeah, man, I'm here. So that was a good game. It was an enjoyable game. Not as great as divisional games like leading up. I think that part was more exciting, the divisional and the conference championship. But I mean, it was a close game. That's what we all hope for. Last little minute swing. It was I wasn't expecting that last minute swing to go that way based on how the game was going. It was very defensive. But it was good to finally see Tim Donaghy finally get another job. It's away from the NBA, but it looked like he's getting a job in the NFL. To continue doing what he was doing over there, fixing
games. But did you have a problem with the game, like just going into it? You know what I mean? As far as, I won't say going into the game, but just as far as the fourth quarter, because that's really where all of those calls happened to where you was like, I'm skeptical about this shit again.
It wasn't really the fourth quarter. It was like the first quarter first quarter and a half. It seemed like Rams were pretty much owning it. OBJ, you could tell that he was hungry for it. Just helping them set that offense apart. They could double team Cooper Kupp all they want to if OBJ was free, he was going to make some work of it, and he was making light work of it. And I think on the other end, his LSU counterpart, Chase, was doing everything that he can to separate, when he burnt Ramsey and everything. But once OBJ went down, you could feel the momentum kind of shift a little bit more towards Cincinnati. And I just felt like Cincinnati had it at that point. Burrow wasn't playing his best game, but he was playing mistake-free football. And you play mistake-free football where he's not turning over or causing any turnovers. They should come out and win this. They was ahead. Defense was playing and holding up the Rams. So despite everything that the Rams was doing on their defensive side, their offense just wasn't getting that push. And they didn't get that last little minute push, I don't think, until that last drive. And I still think they would have got stalled if the erroneous call wasn't called on that third down. Like, that was the one that kind of swung it. All the other penalties after that I felt like was valid, but that third down is what changed it and gave them the first down and kept the ball moving when it was already in the red zone. It kind of jaded me, man. It was I don't know when Goodell is going to step down, but I'm comfortable with McMahon stepping in now as commissioner, because I think it's out there, man. This thing is it's not what we think it is. Some of this stuff they can still control it. It's still kind of rigged at that point. That's kind of look at me. I'm fine with it. I still love football, but like that part kind of just the setup of being in LA winning. What happened the first time? They couldn't build up a fan base, so them winning early. This early after the stadium built, it just seems like a setup. I don't know how true it is, Kash. Tell me how you feel.
Well, Prez, man, to be honest with you, really, I just feel like it wasn't a setup, but I just hate that it came down to the calls. Because you know me, I'm always cautioning from calling a game that I love rigged. You know what I mean? But that's just the I won't say I'm jaded, but that's just like the fan in me wanting to believe that all this stuff happens, for a reason. But you got to believe that. I definitely don't want the refs to be involved, especially like the last 75 seconds of the game. That third down play was critical. And if that is pass interference, then I don't know how to teach anybody how to play a wide receiver any better. You know what I mean? Like,
it was holding. They called it holding.
Right. Oh, sorry. Holding. If that's holding, I don't know how to tell a guy to play a guy in the slot any better, running across the middle as far as a linebacker. There was no holding. Like, there was touch here, but I didn't see any grab. I didn't see anything for any extended amount of time to where you would call that holding. And then especially with a championship on the line, you just never want to see a call like that unless it's just painfully obvious. You know what I mean?
And correct me if I'm wrong, I know people probably going to correct it. I'll probably think it wrong. But I thought after that the Rams New Orleans game with that blatant pass interference. They said anytime after that, under the 2 minutes, any of those and all those can be reviewed. And the fact that it was under 2 minutes and that play wasn't reviewed, they just let it go on quick. I was just like, what is the? It just feels like a fix was in at that point. Even so, just spend a little bit more time. I would even was like Cincinnati, they couldn't call a timeout or throw a flag, but it just should have been more time looked at that. Now I didn't even think the TV analysts them did enough to point it out because during the season they let's call New York and see what New York says about that. They ain't do none of that stuff. You know what I mean? So that was kind of weird for me. They had got away with the call on T. Higgins where he scored the touchdown and everything. Like it's certain things.
Yeah, that's where I was going to go.
The game, like constant. It happened throughout the country. Like you always see holding on the offensive line. That little thing until they rewinded and showed it back, did you not see the face mask? I felt like it was a good, like knowing what the ref had, the little things that you remember when that Kobe book we read where Kobe said you got to know where the ref's
at and when you can pull that off.
So I felt like that was in that case. He kind of knew where it was at and he got away with it. You got away with it. And then I felt like right after that, Aaron Donald got upset with Joe Burrow when Joe Burrow was burning. And yeah, he hit him inside in the bounds, but it was an egregious hit to push him out of bounds, and that should have been a
penalty.
Unprofessional. Yeah. So unnecessary roughness, that's what I'm thinking. That call should have been called, but they didn't call that. Even after they was getting over there. So like I felt like okay, that kind of weighs it back in the other side. And we crown Ramsey and we say all this. He is a good quarterback, but this ain't like the first time he got burnt in that game.
No, it wasn't. And this was bad. And then they reminded us during the telecast as far as when it happened to him in Tampa Bay when what's the guy on Tampa Bay where he did the out and up on him and burnt him for a pretty big play too as well. And I don't think it's like from a lack of talent at all. Like he's the number one DB in the league or rated DB in the league for a reason. I just think that his talent takes too many chances. You know what I'm saying? He knows he's that good, but he takes a lot of chances. Like he even tried to jump a route at one point late in that fourth quarter. And luckily Cincinnati didn't complete that pass because that could have been one that could have been taken to the house. So he took a lot of chances last night and he paid for it dearly. You know what I mean? So, that's one of the things that sometimes he just had to shore up, man, because he almost single-handedly costed them a game on defense because they were, Joe Burrow was playing, like you said, mistake-free football, so he wasn't really putting it in position to where they could intercept it. He wasn't forcing anything. He was taking what came to him. However, a quarterback of his caliber, like he easily could have took advantage of some of those mishaps, and he did at one point. So coming out, right in the second half and throwing that thing, you know what I mean, getting that score, like I just think that this this game, man, was just, I don't think it was fixed, man. I just think that the refs played too much of a part into it late to where I just wanted to see it mano a mano on the field. Who's the better team? And right now, I left that game not feeling totally convinced as I felt going into the game that the LA Rams were the better team. Now, what I do want to say on the flip side of that is they did lose one of the most dynamic playmakers on their team. You know what I mean? Early in the first half. And he, to me, Prez, was well on his way to possibly being the MVP.
Oh, yeah. I still think he should have got MVP because, everything they did before that last little drive. But people have a recency bias. They want to poke on that last little drive that's what did it for them. But I felt like they wouldn't even be in that position if it wasn't for OBJ. And if OBJ didn't go down, that the momentum would have never swung at Cincinnati. This game would have been a lot worse than it actually was. So that tells you who was the most talented player out there, and who needed it. You know what I mean? So that's kind of why I say OBJ should have still got it. And I'm joking around. I didn't have no skin in the game on this, so I was hoping that Cincinnati won, but it wasn't no do or die. I just wanted a close game. We got that. Unfortunate with the calls at the end. But overall, man, hey, happy OBJ them got it. Stafford got a one. Aaron Donald them got a one. These are greats in the game that deserve to get recognized. And, you know, you don't want nobody of their caliber who was stuck on some crappy teams to avoid missing out on their chance and
Right.
being blamed. Like, a lot of them was being blamed for the problems of those other teams. And it's just like that. It was so untrue. And as we can see, that's how it kind of unveiled last night.
Yeah, and one thing I did want to bring up that when I was watching it last night, and I don't think I mentioned it to you guys in the group chat, is like, yo, you see how difficult it was when you the man for Cooper Kupp? Like, not to say that he didn't ball out, so to speak, in terms of just gaudy numbers, but he got it done when it counted. So all the props, much deserved Super Bowl MVP, hands down, no debating. But you see how much harder it was against a formidable defense. You know what I mean? The difference between the two is that these guys didn't have names on Cincinnati, but they put up a hell of a fight, even with everything that happened to the Rams and losing OBJ. But you just see how much of a luxury that they've had. What's the guy that got hurt from the Rams? Woods? Was it Woods? That's out for the season. And then OBJ came in.
Yeah, Woods out, and then didn't Weddle get hurt too?
Weddle got hurt. So I'm just saying, like, Cooper benefited definitely from being in Sean McVay's offense and pass heavy and then just being great at his craft, but also other players being great at their craft because you can't double. You know what I mean? So you have to play him honest, or you have to scheme and take him out of the game, but also you had an OBJ on the other side killing Eli Apple or whoever else was on him because, you know, you can't really who you going to travel with. You know what I mean? If your best corner on Cincinnati is playing Kupp, like, it's just like pick your poison. But often and early, you know, in that game, OBJ was doing his thing, but it got a lot more difficult. And I thought they were going to lose this game, the Rams, man, to be honest with you, because they couldn't run that ball for shit. And if they're going to experience any type of sustained success or run this thing back, they definitely have to address the amount of times that they pass the ball. Like, I get that that's, you know, got them to where they are and they got a championship out of it. This dream team type of thing doesn't really happen too often. So I don't want to say this is the blueprint, but I would say I would err on the side of caution moving forward. Like, I would definitely want to get some backs in there or just get into a rhythm to where it isn't always on Matt Stafford's shoulders to throw them in and out of games. You know what I mean? Because he damn near almost did that, you know, with taking chances on tossing the ball down the field, just trying to get a big play. So, but yeah, hats off to him, man. Hell of a season for the Rams. I had fun watching playoff football, even after, you know, my team, the Eagles, got knocked out of the playoffs. I mean, we weren't supposed to be there, but we made it somehow, some way. So that just goes to show the medal we have. But overall, man, after that wild card round, this playoffs was amazing, man. You got any last words on just the playoffs overall?
Yeah, and this is going to be more pointed at Cincinnati and their coach. Like, the way Mixon had started running late in that game, and he was averaging like 4-5 yards a carry. I don't care if it's a third down or whatever. In these type of situations, after seeing what happened up there in Seattle, why the fuck did you take out your star running back or take the ball out of his hand in that key situation?
And it was in P-Ron. Why would you give it to P-Ron? Oh, yeah, you brought up an excellent point. I was trying to take us out of here, but you brought me right back. Go ahead, continue on, man.
Yeah, man. So, like, I just felt like if you had either left the ball in the hands of Joe Burrow, I know his leg was probably hurting, but it's Super Bowl, we need to win this, or put it in Mixon hands, I think they get that first down, and the outcome of this game still has a chance to be a little bit different. But passing off to P-Ryan, who was not doing good all game, it just the call just kind of got me at the end. It was just like, okay, they pushed it back against the wall. Now you got the refs who you're gonna have the kind of shaky call, but you still have a chance. You still have a chance, and you blew it.
Yeah, and you got to live with that all season because it's right. It was right there. Everything practically fell in your hand. I get it. You didn't want it to fall in your hand, like if you're a true competitor with having other people on the other team go down. But damn it, that's what happens when you play the game, right? You know what I mean? People get injured, shit happens. And they had an opportunity of a lifetime to be just a team that comes out of nowhere with winning a collective 6 games in the last 2 years to Super Bowl champions. And you screwed it up with just a few key mishaps. Like, that team is too good on defense, in particular, with all the injuries occurring throughout that game, to continue to just, let you guys go down as far as the time in the game. You know what I mean? The time just dwindled down, and it felt like Cincinnati was playing not to lose instead of to win. And that's what it felt like to me. And then those few bloopers that you mentioned, but that P-Ron being in, when you have Mixon, who could do everything and then some, where you can catch out the backfield, he could run the ball tough, get the tough yards. So man, that was crazy, man.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, we can go ahead and end it, man. That was I still think it was enjoyable, but I think the conference championship and the divisional round was a lot more exciting football. But this still came down to the end, a little bit more defensive in between. But overall, an enjoyable game for me as a fan.
For sure. Hey, shout out to Fat 50 for the Super Bowl performance. I applaud you, brother. Everybody on your case. But, hey, man, you still went out there and did it, 50. So, I love 50 for that. M, shout out to M. I didn't know what M was doing with taking that knee. I thought M was just in the moment and feeling the music, losing himself literally. But he was taking a knee, man. Lo and behold, man. So shout out to him, M, for that move. And last but not least, shout out to my man Snoop. You see the way Dre looked at him, Prez, when he came and started off, crib. And then he started into his verse. I'm like, Snoop, why? Why would you do this, Snoop? You on a grand stage, man. You ain't got it. But, man, yeah, man, the world's most famous Crip. 50 plus, he's still representing, man. So, hey, man, he's him through and through, man. So it was good to see Mary J killed it as well. I like what Kendrick did as well. So I like that lineage of Dr. Dre kind of being right there on full display. So wasn't my favorite Super Bowl halftime show, but it was good. It was good, man. I enjoyed it.
What's your favorite?
Out of everybody? I'll probably say Prince. Yeah. Prince's performance, I'd probably say.
I like the Beyonce and Bruno Mars when they did it.
That one was good too. Yeah, man.
All right.
But yeah, hey, ladies and gents, thanks for sticking around, man. We just wanted to get this one out. This wasn't part of our episode for this week that's dropping on Tuesday the 15th. So we just wanted to give you guys some of our quick, immediate reactions when we were able to get up with each other and discuss, the Super Bowl, man. So y'all tap in, make sure you subscribe, like, share, and do all those cool things. Tell a friend to tell a friend, man. We out.